Hey YouTube, a little interesting thing I'm here to show you today. It's part of my prepping stuff. I haven't talked about this one yet, but this is might be something interesting to see and know about. It's my homemade wine making, and why I started learning how to make wine. I bartend now for a living, looking for start another career soon in something else, but. I've learned a good bit about it, about the process it takes to make it, and the product that I've finally come up with. And I've made 3 batches so far. The first batch was grape wine, and it was decent. The second batch was a cider. It was terrible. But this batch of homemade wine that I made with grape juice, I actually just bought to see if I could do it. Came out pretty easy, and the process is so simple that you could do it in any, even in an uncontrolled environment, and even in any disastrous situation. As long as you could keep the jug sealed, you could actually produce it. I'm not going to say exactly how I do it because it's kind of a secret, but not exactly a secret. I just want to keep it somewhat under wraps. But it's pretty straight. I can tell you what I use: just any juice I can find and yeast. That's it. The best yeast I found so far was at a grocery store. And it's made the best wine so far. And of course, it's not, the quality of like a Jolgot Cab or a 14 Hands or anything like that. But and that's not even expensive wine really. But it's good enough that I can say that I would actually drink it. The clarity is really good. The smell is good. It almost has like a bread and butter smell, almost like a buttery, kind of smooth smell. Decent legs on this batch. Could be a little bit better, but that may come with a little bit more time. It needs a little bit more time, I think, but at this point it's definitely drinkable. But it's very smooth. This batch is kind of in between a red blend and a Pinot Noir, but it's not bad, seeing as how it's basically made the same way that prison wine is made. I'll see if I can set my phone, show you with the camera the actual clarity of it. Just to give you a little idea about the clarity, it's pretty clear. I mean, this is probably the clearest batch that I've made so far. You can't see it that way, can you? But you get an idea, and there's a decent little amount in there about the clarity of it. Because sometimes when you make homemade wine, it has this sort of murky look, and it's not good. But it's got a nice, deep red hue to it. You can see a little bit better there. It's still it's got good body, but it's not, gross looking. So, take a little sip and we'll talk about the flavor. The flavor, from what I'm getting, remember the smell was kind of like bread, maybe buttered bread, kind of buttery, smooth, kind of smelling. The flavor, the foretaste is very grapey, duh. But the aftertaste, has like a buttery sort of finish, which I kind of like that in wine. I drink mostly cabs. I'm not going to be able to make a cab just in my climate and weather, and of course the materials I'm using to make it, it's just not going to happen. But this is very drinkable, and it's very strong. It's at least 11 or 12, probably a little bit stronger than that, closer to a traditional wine. I finally got the ratio of offsetting the amount of juice and sugar that I'm adding to it, mixing together. It's so easy to make. It would be easy to make in any serious situation where you need to start, coming up with something to sustain yourself for trade, to make yourself useful. And this is kind of the way that I guess I would do it. This is drinkable. Definitely, it's actually really tasty. I let my father try it, and he even enjoyed it. And he's not really a wine drinker. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'm going to keep making it the same way I did this batch, and hopefully it stays consistent. I made two batches of it, and they both came out really good. One's a little bit better than the other one because I think it's a little bit older. Basically, that's the only reason I think it's a little bit better. But and I think I'm going to bottle it or put it in jars and give it away as gifts for the holiday season. But no, it's been a success so far. So if you want to do a little research, there's lots of videos on YouTube that show easy ways to make homemade wine. If you want to get in on it, I just want to show you that it's actually something I don't talk about much, but I'm pretty impressed with it. I'll be enjoying more of this and making more soon. I just can't believe it was that good, because the last 2 batches were subpar. The first one I made had that kind of thick sort of look. It didn't have the right color. The color was really bad. The taste wasn't too bad, but the color was awful. The cider had no color. And the taste was it tasted fouled. It just didn't taste good, I guess. It was drinkable. It didn't give me botulism, but it just wasn't good. This batch is one I finally hit the nail on the head with. It doesn't taste like cough syrup like some wines do. It has a thin sort of taste. It's kind of warm in the chest like red wine should be. You could actually probably chill that red wine a little bit and it would be just as good. Or maybe even better in some ways. For some people, you're not supposed to chill red wine, but this kind you might be able to get away with it some because it is homemade. Personally, I won't be chilling it. I think it's great at room temperature. So it's been a success so far, and I'm excited about making more. So if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section below or private message me if you like these videos. I know they're pretty straightforward and simple. I don't do a lot of fancy editing right now. If you like these videos, though, feel free to subscribe, like this video, share it, whatever you want to do.